Hello everyone, welcome to EduTap. My name is Santosh and today we are going to have another class of the top 5 MCQs, and in today's session we are going to talk about the top MCQs related to the unit or output costing, right? So without delaying any further, let's directly jump to the first question of the day that says, in dash method of costing, costs are ascertained per unit of a single product in a continuous manufacturing activity. So the key word here is continuous manufacturing activity, and you need to find out cost per unit of a single product. So when we are talking about single product or a very less varieties of item, then we use unit costing or output costing. This thing you need to remember or understand. When there is a less variety or a single product and we are manufacturing it in a large number or in a bulk, then we use unit or output costing, isn't it? So the correct option of this question is option number A, that is unit or output costing. Let's understand other methods as well in brief. So when we use process costing, when the manufacturing is passing through different processes, when the manufacturing is being done by passing the good into different processes, then we use process costing. For example, you have the chemical industry, for example you have the paint industry, for example you have the hair dye industry. It passes through different processes, so in that type of industry we use process costing. So there are the different methods of costing depending upon the nature of the industry in which that firm is operating in. We decide which type of method we are going to use to determine the cost of the good, right? Now another method of costing is job costing. Job costing is very easy. Depending when basically there is a job and there is a customized job. For example, you have the house decoration, interior house decoration. So it is customized as per the customer's need. No two jobs are similar in nature. So in that scenario, we use job costing, or the cost accountant use the job costing to determine the cost of a particular job, right? So in case we have the painting jobs, so as per the customer need, you want to basically print a photo frame, so it is customized as per customer's need. So in that scenario, cost is getting determined on by using the method of job costing. Similarly in the case of interior house decoration as well, so different individual wants to decorate their house differently, right? So that's why we use job costing. Okay, so you got this question in a very comprehensive manner, and we have discussed about all the methods of the costing that are written here, all the four methods, right? So the correct answer here is unit or output costing. Now let's talk about the second question, which says, which of the following statements is or are correct? So first of all, let's read out the statement one by one, then we are going to decide which are correct or not. First statement says cost sheet is a periodical statement of cost. So yes, cost sheet is definitely gives you periodic statement. So you can prepare the cost sheet on a quarterly basis, on a monthly basis, on a half yearly basis, on yearly basis as well. So yes, it is absolutely correct. So cost sheet is a periodic statement of cost. Second statement says cost sheet reveals only the total cost. No, it gives you segregation of cost as well, element wise. So third statement says cost sheet discloses the breakup of total cost into different elements. Yes, it is absolutely correct. So it gives you prime cost, it gives you works cost, it gives you cost of production, it gives you cost of goods sold, then it gives you cost of sales. So it is segregating total cost into different elements now. So your option number 1 and 3 is absolutely correct. So option number C is correct here. So this is the basically cost sheet in the condensed form. So we have the prime cost, works cost, cost of production, and you have also this cost of sales. It is not written here. The cost of sales is written here, but you have cost of goods sold after this cost of production, and then you have the cost of sales, right? So let's look at the comprehensive view, then things will be clear to you. So we have this prime cost, which consists of what? Direct material, direct labor, and your direct expenses. It becomes your prime cost. Now after the prime cost, when you add works or factory overhead into it, then it becomes factory cost. then you add administrative overhead related to the production only, then it becomes cost of production. And after few adjustment of finished goods, opening and closing finished goods, it becomes your cost of goods sold. See, only adjustment is done here from the cost of production, then it becomes cost of goods sold. Therefore it is not written here separately, because cost of production and cost of goods sold are almost same, just a minute difference of adjustment of opening and the closing stock. That's it, right? Now after the cost of goods sold, you are going to add administrative overhead, general administrative overhead, and your selling and distribution overhead as well, to get to the cost of sale. That is your final item, right? So after this you can also add profit margin, then you will have the selling price of particular unit or in aggregate as well, right? Or you can say revenue. So you can do this. If management wants to include the profit margin in the cost sheet, then you can add this profit margin as well. Then this cost sheet will be called as statement of cost and profit, to be typically, right? Typically we call it statement of cost and profit when the profit is also added in this, right? Otherwise it's called statement of cost or the cost sheet, right? Okay, third question says different businesses, in order to determine the cost of their product or service, use what? It use different methods of costing or uniform costing, different techniques of costing, none of the above. So obviously the answer is different methods of costing. So we have basically discussed this thing in our first class as well, that depending upon the nature of the product or service, depending upon the industry in there they are operating, that decides the method of costing they are going to use. So different businesses use different method of costing depending upon the product or service, or depending upon the industry in which they are operating, right? Okay, let's move ahead. This was the easy question. Question number 4 says, which of the following statement are correct? For the ascertainment of cost of production and profit, statement of cost and profit is prepared. Yes, it is absolutely correct. And while we were discussing about the cost sheet, I have told you this point as well. Cost sheet can provide comparative study of the cost of the current period and with that of corresponding previous period. So typically cost sheet doesn't provide the data of previous year, but yes, it can provide. If management ask the cost accountant to include the previous year data as well, it can include it. So yes, it is also correct. Cost sheet can provide a comparative study of cost of the current year with respect to the previous year as well. So it is also correct. Third option says cost sheet acts as a guide to management in fixation of selling price and quotation of tenders. Absolutely correct. Obviously you are going to add the margin. They have a good idea that okay, this is the cost, this is the margin we need, then the selling price will be defined. Okay, so all of the above is the correct answer here. Every statement is correct here. Question number 5 says, one thing more, you have to evaluate yourself in each and every question, and you have to tell me in the comment section how many marks you got out of 5 marks, and we have one homework question as well, don't worry. So this is the 5th question, and you have to calculate how many marks you got out of 5, right, in the comment section. It says, in which of the following industry output costing is applicable? Okay, output costing it is asking about, or unit costing. Building construction, no, because contract costing is used in the construction. Chemical industry, no, process costing is used in the chemical industry. Construction of flyover, no. Okay, so the answer is none of the above. Okay, that was the good question. So there is no option which relates to the output costing here. So I think correct option should be, no, it is okay, option is E, none of the above. Please remember, it is wrong written here. Answer is E, none of the above, right? Okay, let's move ahead. Now comes your homework question, which says unit costing is applicable where? Very good question. Product produced are unique and no two products are same. Dissimilar articles are produced as per customer specification. Third option says homogeneous articles are produced on a large scale. And D option says product made requires different raw material. So what is the correct answer? I want to know from all of you in the comment section what is the correct answer of this particular question. That is your homework question, right? So whether it is A, B, C or D, let me know in the comment section. So that's all for today's class. We have discussed most important questions of this particular topic, that is a small topic, unit or output costing, and now you have a good understanding how to identify which industry is using which type of method of costing, right? So we are going to meet in the next session. Tab tak ke liye tata, bye bye, take care.